right. I think most of us, all the voting members are here. Thanks for joining, and online and in person. That's a nice change of pace. So this is the April 2nd ICG meeting, and we will be going over the new projects for the 26 to 29 TIP today, and there's also 2 TIP amendments to the 25-28 TIP, and then we'll just go through member updates like we usually do, and then adjourn. And there's only 7 new projects, and they were all proposed to be exempt, so we'll just kind of run through all of them and see if you all agree, and then.
There are supposed to be 2 more coming from Baltimore City.
Okay.
I don't know whether they're like bridge projects or what they're gonna be, but.
Yeah.
So there's gonna be an addendum to your review, I guess.
So in terms of the meeting minutes, because there wasn't a March meeting, so we don't have those, but we did approve the February ones in sometime via email. So that's all good there. So we'll just move right along to the second item, which is the non-exempt status of projects submitted for the 26 to 29 TIP. And geez, stop sharing. Okay. Let me share just like.
You do screen.
Okay.
Share.
Hello?
Hi. Yeah.
Hi. I have a little presentation I can pull up quick as well.
Oh, for the new TIP amendments or the new projects?
New projects.
Oh, cool. Okay, that works. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
And you're also hooked for sharing it.
This is a really quick overview, and then I bet, Anna, you were gonna pull up the spreadsheet after?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is just, right now there are 170 submitted projects to the TIP. Like you said, 2 projects are going to come in from Baltimore City, so we will have 9 new projects instead of 7. But this is the quick breakdown by jurisdiction. Anne Arundel County has 16. Baltimore City currently has 46. Baltimore County has 9. Carroll County has 10. Harford County has 16. Howard County has 5. MTA has 23. The Port Administration has 7. The Transportation Authority has 5. The Office of the Secretary has 2. And the State Highway has 31. Currently, just a quick by the numbers, 170. Total exempt projects are 150. Total non-exempt are 21. And new projects requesting exempt status are 7. And no projects are requesting non-exempt status. So the new projects are Frederick Avenue streetscape from Yale to Montessori Avenues in Baltimore City that will be open to service in 2031, which is repairing aging infrastructure and constructing a bike ped facility. Then they also have Baltimore City also has a Vision Zero action plan and pilot, which they've gotten 2 grants from the Safe Streets for All to create a Vision Zero action plan and then start to pilot some of those programs. Baltimore City is also doing a project called Restoring Connections to Druid Hill Park. It does a complete streets project based off of a feasibility study they completed a couple years ago, and they received $6 million in neighborhood access and equity funds to do so. Baltimore City also is working on the Highway to Nowhere, which is what they have called the West Baltimore United Plan. So this is going to be working on the initial planning phases, trying to figure out what they're going to do next, assess existing conditions, and then it's right now it's only programmed for the planning phase. The Port Administration has a new berth reconstruction project on the Port of Baltimore in the Dundalk Marine Terminal. They also have a new zero emissions electric locomotives for the CSX Curtis Bay facility project, which will just replace 3 older diesel electric switching locomotives with battery electric ones. And then SHA has a new project, which is for Maryland 26 over the Liberty Reservoir, which is just a bridge deck replacement. The last thing I wanted to highlight is there is a existing non-exempt project whose scope has changed. It is 16141041 Snowden River Parkway, Broken Land Parkway to Oakland Mills Road in Howard County. This used to be an expansion project, and now they are doing a traffic study and considering complete streets. That is all I have for you.
Thank you. Would it be easier just to like have Endemazia keep sharing the slides and we can kind of go through the projects that way? Because all I was gonna do is pull up the this spreadsheet that is that. Okay. Endemazia, is that okay, just to keep up your PowerPoint? Okay.
Sounds great.
Also, I'm sorry, did you guys meet Rockman before?
Not in person.
Okay,
but
yeah.
we did meetings.
You worked at
So,
ENC.
This is from travel development teams.
Nice to finally meet you. We've definitely been on all those Zooms modeling calls
Yeah.
together.
Yeah. Yeah, Sophia, Seth, and and
Yeah.
and then Brian, Sophia, our TV rep for
Yeah.
ICG. Yeah, and I think that,
Nice to meet you all. Yeah.
Yeah.
Person.
I think that might be all. Yeah, and then you, Marsha's for the modeling
Yeah.
calls, and then Jasmine. Hi, Jasmine. See you join. Great. Okay, so I guess we'll start with the top one here, which is the Frederick Avenue streetscape. Baltimore City proposed to be exempt, and for this one, so with the conformity rule, bicycle pedestrian facilities are listed as exempt, so that was the reasoning I found for the recommendation to be exempt. What do you all think?
Yeah, for the bike ped facility, that sounds fine. Out of curiosity, what are span wires and mast arms? I was thinking that.
I
There
was,
are signals, traffic signal wires,
Okay.
So they're basically saying they're reconstructing the entire intersection, like,
right, but it doesn't appear that there are gonna be any capacity improvements, it's just upgrading of traffic signals and stuff like that.
okay.
yeah, I didn't know what this were.
So they're basically taking the wires that go across the road that had the signals hanging off of them,
Oh,
and
yeah.
putting the bar across
Oh.
that has the signals
Okay.
hanging off. Nice and nasty.
Oh, nice. Then that's-
You like the visuals?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I didn't know.
Yeah, just how those.
Yeah, that project sounds good.
Okay, so that, the next one's also Baltimore City Vision Zero Action Plan and Pilot, year of service 2026, and this one, the Vision Zero Action Plan is safety related, and yeah, they're also, it's listed as a bicycle pedestrian facility, so same reasoning, exempt from air quality conformity.
Yeah, it seems pretty straightforward.
So it's mostly the action plan, but then some of the pilots will be, looks like bike ped related anyway, so.
And Amazi, can you make that a little bit bigger? Is there any way to make that a little larger? So people can read it better.
Yes, let me try right.
Yeah, 10 miles of quick build projects.
If not, it's no big deal. But,
These are all bike
ooh,
ped.
that's smaller. There you go, that's better.
Cool, thank you.
I see.
Yeah.
Better than me anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't really know, there's like some things, the action plan has a livability impact analysis. And some other things, but I don't think anything is related to like capacity increases or anything, so.
No, I don't think so. It's mostly for safety. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think the Vision Zero is mostly around like bicycle pedestrian deaths, right? Or is it also about motorist deaths? Not sure.
I think it's all road
All
users.
for, yeah, okay. Either way, sounds good. to me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I like the public health aspect of it too.
Yeah,
Great.
okay. Great. On to the next one, which is the Baltimore City restoring connections to Druid Hill Park. And this one's proposed to be exempt, 2030 year of operation. And this is building from a complete street feasibility study, which was completed in 2022. And I guess last March, they received $6 million in neighborhood access and equity funds. And so now this next step is to reach 30% design and continue with the project. And it's going to provide multimodal corridor, connects the surrounding neighborhoods and provide safer connections. So I think it sounds.
I think just the fact that it's only up to 30%, that's still considered planning. That makes it exempt,
Oh,
I
yeah.
think, right?
Yeah, planning studies are exempt as well as bike pedestrian facilities.
Yeah, I feel like Druid Hill Park needs a little bit of revival, so.
Yeah, that sounds good. Even if it was past the design phase, it's all
Yeah.
safety and bicycle pedestrian, so. All good.
And Mazi, do you mind going? Oh, thank you. One step ahead of me. All right. This next one is also Baltimore City, and it's West Baltimore United, a plan to reconnect communities. And I don't think this one is a highway to nowhere project, is it?
Yeah, and Demacia mentioned it's planning, just the planning phase.
Mhm.
I think for that reason, it sounds fine to me,
Yeah.
because I'm not sure what the construction would entail, but maybe they don't know that yet, because they're still planning, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, I said, based on the conformity with planning and technical studies.
Okay, that's what I was
Are
thinking.
exempt.
Yeah, I think ultimately they're gonna shrink that,
Mhm.
so.
Yeah, no, I'm very curious what it's gonna look like or what they're
Yeah.
thinking.
Yeah, that piqued my interest when I read this. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I wonder what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Hopefully not that.
Hopefully there's green space or something.
Although it does say 2040 for still planning, so maybe nothing for a while.
Well,
Yeah.
that's the ultimate build out.
Oh, okay, okay.
See. We'll see.
Alright,
It's nice, at least it's included in the tip.
exactly.
Yeah, this is the first step. Oh, yeah, it sounds like it's exempt.
Okay. Right, we have three last ones here. This one, the next one is the Maryland Port Administration, Dundalk Marine Terminal, berth 11 to 13 reconstruction. And this one, I mean, I think port activity, they're already trying to improve their air quality and they have air quality plans and everything, but this one, it seemed like they were trying to improve the safety of this kind of thing, the berths that were falling apart. So, even though I don't know if it would have impact to emissions to reconstruct it, but they're doing it because they're eliminating a hazardous feature and trying to correct something to improve safety. So, that's why I was saying it should be exempt, but, any other?
Do we know when berth 11 was closed for safety?
I do not know.
I don't know off the top of my head. We can find that out for you, I'm sure.
I'm just curious. I mean, it feels like if it was like open and then closed and open again, like the emissions would just go back. But if it was closed for like 10 years or something, maybe that would be new emissions. But I see how it falls under like preservation, like safety and all that. And that's my only question about it.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, this is the one I was the most kind of confused on. I think partially just because it's ports, so we're less familiar with that type of project, but also, yeah, I was thinking about that. Like, okay, if you're just putting something back to being usable, then maybe you're not adding new emissions of like new boat traffic, but I just don't know enough about all the details of that.
Yeah, that's a good question, but, yeah, we can find out. I don't know when it first closed.
But if we're thinking, I mean, are we thinking, okay, comes down to safety and that would make it exempt? For the reasoning?
I think so. Yeah, the reasoning I put with it was like the projects that correct, improve, or eliminate a hazardous location or feature in the conformity rule. But then I'm also looking, it says kind of towards the bottom, it's to reconstruct 600 linear feet of DMT berths, 11 to 13. Oh, Dundalk Marine Terminal. And I think the amount of linear feet too, because it's under a mile, I think is when
I don't
conform.
think that's road construction. I think
Okay,
it's,
oh, yeah. 600, well, 600 linear feet isn't that much of a impact either.
Yeah.
So that, I mean, it doesn't add the capacity.
Right,
Yeah.
For roadway users.
yeah,
It's
And then
ships coming in.
Yeah, so it's saying. Along berths, 11 continue to be used. The port, okay, so they temporarily reconfigured berths 11 to 12 to retain the ability to service 2 vessels. So it sounds like maybe while the one was closed for safety.
yeah, it sounds like it's still
They did it
active in like other
It
ways.
sounds like
So,
they've accommodated the same amount of
Yeah.
ships that were coming in other
Okay,
ways, but now
right.
they're just gonna put it back where they want.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it sounds like even if there are, it should be very negligible. It sounds like it's gonna be pretty on par, maybe.
Okay.
okay. All right, so we're good with that, the exemption status of that one.
I'm just out of curiosity, I'm still curious about when it closed, but
Yeah.
yeah, I'm comfortable going with the proposed exemption
And
status.
Damazi, maybe we can check with Dominic Skirky from the port on that to see when it was initially closed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Thank you. The next one is another Maryland Port Administration project. This one's zero emission electric locomotives for CSX Curtis Bay facility. And it's basically to replace older diesel engines with 3 new battery electric locomotives and 1 battery charger at the Port of Baltimore. So this one, I mean, it's switching to zero emission, but it's also under the conformity rule could be replacing existing vehicles is allowed. It's like an upgrade for exemption.
Sounds good, we're replacing and they're gonna be fewer emissions. So-
Yeah, sounds great. Yeah, local ones are hard because they last forever. So this is great that they're moving to zero emission.
Yeah. And this one, year of operations 2027, so that's good. Okay. And the final one is State Highway Administration, Maryland 26 over Liberty Reservoir. And year of operation 2029. And it's bridge deck replacement over Liberty Reservoir. I guess the numbers are what the numbers of the bridges?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. And any kind of bridge, reconstructing bridges or bridge maintenance is exempt under the conformity rule. And they're also not adding capacity.
My question on this one, and Ozzy, I don't know if you can look it up real quick, but why is this a separate project and not included in the area-wide bridge replacement and reconstruction?
That's a great question. I'm gonna go look that up in the status really quick.
Oh, is it? No, it's SHA project.
Yeah, as long as they're not adding any lanes. Sounds exempt to me.
Yeah, I have
It
no
might be
issue
a
with that.
cost thing if it's over.
I was gonna say, if it's over a certain amount, it has to be a breakout.
That's what I was just telling Charles, but that's why I asked her to look up how much it cost.
Let
So
me see
maybe
if I can pull that up without stopping screen sharing. So give me a second.
You could probably stop anyway, because I think we're done looking at these. Right?
Oh, true, yeah, that was the last one.
Yeah, cool.
Do we know when the other two projects are coming down the line?
Hopefully, like in the next couple days.
Okay.
I gave them blank tip sheets to fill out, so I assume they're working on them now, so. My guess is by the end of the week, but
Just want to make sure the timeline doesn't get.
yeah,
messed
it's not
up.
gonna be, well, yeah. We wouldn't let them put them in if it was gonna be.
Okay,
now.
sounds good.
So should we just plan to review those ones over email at a later time or?
I think so,
Okay.
because, yeah, well, they'll be in before the May meeting, right? Well, yeah, the May meeting is when we need to hopefully approve the emission analysis. So, yeah, and Demonzi, go ahead.
Yeah, it's $46 million is the cost. So that might be why.
Definitely why.
What's the cutoff, like, when is it to be broken into?
I wanna say it's 10 million, but I wouldn't swear to that.
I guess, and Demonzi, sorry, do you mind pulling up the PowerPoint one more time and we can look at that non-exempt project just to make sure?
Oops.
Oh, yeah. To that.
It's trying to sneak it by.
Sorry about that. Forgot that was there.
They agreed to everything.
Yeah, exactly.
An existing project, but I'm not sure. Yeah, so for this one, thank you, Demonzi. For this one, it was in the tip last year and it's in Howard County, Snowden River Parkway, and I think, and Demonzi had said they're changing it from what would have been a roadway widening to now just a study, is that right?
Yes. So if you see this 4 to 6, it originally was 4 lanes to 6 lanes, but this entire description has changed. Now it says we'll design and implement multimodal improvements, incorporating pathways, sidewalks, crosswalks, traffic studies being updated to guide design decisions and the final scope. Project will consider Howard County complete streets.
So the only thing is, I think it's saying at the beginning where it's talking about the sidewalks, crosswalks, all those things, it's also saying and appropriate vehicle capacity enhancements.
Mhm.
So it sounds like it's still under consideration that they would potentially widen but maybe we wouldn't know at this point if they're just in a traffic study phase.
Do you know what funding they've requested? Is it planning or is it engineering?
I can again go and check that real quick.
Sorry.
So while she's looking, and I'm going to have to leave in a minute to go to a Key Bridge meeting, but if you notice from the ID, this project came into the TIP in 2014, and it's sort of been working its way through the process. And when it was in the TIP last year, there was public comment because Howard County had adopted a complete streets program, which actually got a perfect score from Smart Growth America. We had them present at our tech committee. And the public commented that this project is included in the TIP as envisioned in 2014. And since then, the county has changed how they look at projects. And so they're actually changing the scope of this project in response to public comment. So I just want to say that because it doesn't happen very often. So go Howard County.
Yeah. Way to get involved.
Yeah.
They are requesting construction and engineering funds.
Okay.
That's weird.
And so are they widening the roads? Is it clear?
Yeah, that's because I was also, it still was listed as 4 to 6 lanes, like, so.
I mean, it's already in there as not exempt,
Non-exempt,
so
Yeah.
it's not gonna hurt anything if you left it that way, but the question was, should it be reduced to exempt? Because they're doing more of a study versus the actual engineering and construction, even though they have engineering funds. Construction funds, it sounds like the description is really describing a study to ensure that what they want to do is the widening. But either way, like I said, it's still already been modeled as not exempt, so. If you guys feel like just leaving it there, that it's not gonna hurt anything.
I think if the prospect of widening is still there, I think I personally would like to keep it as it is. It's non-exempt. I think it's admirable that they responded to comments and they're now adding like the multimodal aspect of it. But yeah, it's just the widening that's kind of giving me a little heartburn.
Yeah, because it's possible that they'll continue with the plan to widen, but also just improve, bike lanes with it or additional aspects, crosswalks and things. In which case, that's helpful, but would still be considered non-exempt.
Right, like.
Thumbs up, cloud. I've never seen it look like that.
Yeah, celebration of thumbs ups.
I remembered that we asked them about this. And so Howard County's response was, we're doing the traffic study. It will aid in determining the design. Upon traffic study's completion, further coordination will define the project scope, including whether street widening and adding additional lanes will be within the scope.
Very vague.
Yeah.
Well, I agree with you, until they officially take out widening,
Yeah.
which should probably stay, but it's not my call. You guys are.
Yeah, no, that makes sense to me though, like
Yeah.
if in a future year, it was like, oh, we're done with this study, we decided we're leaving it at this many lanes and we're adding bike lane instead, or
Right.
at that point, then yes,
Yeah.
I would consider that to be exempt at that point in time.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. So for now, keep it as non-exempt until further clarification, if they change anything. Okay, awesome. I think that was all we had to review. Yeah, there were no new non-exempt projects submitted for review. Just, the 7 and then the 2 that Keith was saying we can look at via email. But,
And then the other existing projects were unchanged,
yeah.
so.
the other existing ones I sent you guys, I think, did you all get With like Google Drive?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was, because there was so many attachments, I thought that would have been easier,
Oh, yeah, no, it worked out well.
but,
Yes, with the two new Baltimore City ones, they don't usually do too much capacity improvements. They're usually, they're more on that complete streetscape type thing now. So my guess is it's either gonna be a bridge or some sort of streetscape.
That makes sense.
All right, we'll see.
We'll let you know.
It's, yeah, it's a little angry.
it's very angry. Well, luckily Endomasia saved the day. But yeah, the existing or the ongoing exempt and ongoing not exempt ones, if there's ever a change to them, it's an amendment or an admin mod or something. And, but if the conformity of them ever changes, then you all would have to review and we would look at that and let you know and everything. But for now, everything else has remained the same from last year's, except for these new additions and there was one other one, I think that was added back into the tip this year, but it wasn't previously.
Possibly.
I forget which one that was and my, see.
Was that the MD 175 amendment?
Here, it's the one project that appeared in previous tips will not appear in the 2026. It's the Fort McHenry Tunnel, Fort Covington 95 access study.
So it was removed?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, there's been, I think there's quite a few projects that are not in there that were in there last year. Either they were construction was complete or they just chose not to move forward with them or whatever. There's several projects that are in from last year.
Okay. And does anyone else have any questions? Okay, so now can I please have a motion and a second to approve the exemption status of the 7 new TIP projects?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
And we'll now vote on approval of the TIP projects. Members in support of approval, please say aye.
You're on mute, but we
You're
got
muted,
it.
but we saw your mouth move. Okay, thank you, everybody. The next item is it's just not gonna share, the 2025 to 2028 TIP amendments and Demasia, I think you also have PowerPoint for this too. If you wouldn't mind sharing those.
Give me a second.
Thank you.
So actually for this one, I didn't make a PowerPoint. I was just pulling up the information. We've got 2 amendments this April. One is from M.MTA. It's the Rural Transit Systems Operating Assistance. They are increasing funds in order to support Carroll County in their operating budget. Pretty simple. They're adding in $783,000 in federal funds, and then $183,000 in matching funds, I believe. And then the other one is Carroll County, their project Upper Beckleysville Road Bridge over Murphy Run. This project is being re-added into the 25-28 TIP. It has previously existed in the TIP, but they need to obligate the rest of their funding, as well as the fact that since it first appeared in the 22 to 25 TIP and now it's 2025 to 2028, costs have increased, and so they need to add in a little bit more funding in order to complete this one phase and show that they have enough money to advertise for construction. So that project is set to hopefully advertise for construction as soon as the amendment is finished, and then be open for operation either in the end of 2025 or early 2026. They have a 120-day construction budget. Those are the two amendments for April.
Thank you. We'll try to share it.
And the Upper Beckleyville was previously in the TIF as an exempt project, so nothing's changed with the scope.
Oh, yeah, as long as we're not adding more lanes, I would agree that both of them are exempt.
Okay. Yeah, the reasoning below is the reconstructing bridges, no additional travel lanes, and then operating assistance to transit agencies, rural transit systems.
Okay.
Yep, I don't have any issues.
Okay. Brian, all good? For the two tip amendments? Okay, that's good. All right, great. So can I please have a motion and a second to approve the exemption status of the tip amendments?
I'll make a motion to approve the exemption status of the amendments.
I'll second it.
Thank you. And we'll now vote on approval. Members in support of approval, please say aye.
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 Awesome. Thank you, everybody. So that's the action items for today, and now we'll go through member updates. And Brian, I just realized I forgot to give you a little blurb. I usually give Brian a little cheat sheet for things that happen, but I can give a quick update. At the last BRTB meeting, MDTA presented information about the Bay Crossing study, Tier 2 NEPA study, and the alternates retained for detailed study ARDS was, I guess, signed off by the participating agencies in late March. And then in the fall 2025, there's going to be a draft notice of environmental impact statement, and MDTA will hold public meetings to go over that. So that's kind of interesting to see the Bay Bridge study and everything come along. Do you have any other updates, Brian, from BRTB related to?
No, I think that was, yeah, I think that was about it.
Okay. All right, next on the list is MDE.
Sure. Let's see, we have been working on our state implementation plan, or SIP, for Baltimore and Cecil County. They're mirroring each other in a lot of ways. And in terms of the transportation aspects of it, we've been working with all of y'all, I think, in like different capacities for the moves modeling and establishing mobile budgets, as well as the RACM analysis, which stands for reasonably available control measures. I'll touch more on the RACM part of it first. Basically, we're just required to look at all of these different control measures that could be reasonably available to be implemented in order to bring our year of attainment a little bit closer. However, because of the tight timeline and a lot of other factors, it's kind of difficult to find control measures that perfectly match each criteria in order to be implemented. Because, for example, we'd have to have them implemented like now in order to get to attainment like this year when the SIP is due January 1st of next year. But nevertheless, like we sent a list of measures to a bunch of transportation stakeholders, mostly in this room. And I think everyone agreed that none of them were considered RACM because of the tight timeline and other criteria that were listed in the spreadsheet I shared. So thank you all for getting back to me on that. It's just one, I can check it off my list and move on to other stuff. As for the moves modeling, I think we have a bunch of people here in the room also working on that. And I believe we're on schedule, trying to get this wrapped up over the summer. And I think that's all I have, just that we're all still chugging away at this SIP. Any questions, or if Marcia, if you want to add something, please feel free.
Just one thing. Thank you, Catherine. Yeah, we are moving along with trying to complete everything we need to do for our transition to Moves 5. And hopefully that will be soon. This has been like a never-ending process, but sometimes it's smoother than others. So really, we're just waiting on things for conformity. And I just wanted to stress to or ask for some flexibility with the May meeting, depending on when the modeling gets done and when it gets completed. I know we usually do them early, but depending on what happens, we might want to move it to another week. So just keep that, if folks can be flexible to accommodate the analyses. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, hopefully, we can meet, the next ICG meeting would be May 7th. And hopefully that can work with modeling, just because then we're kind of in a time crunch with the public comment period, and that which is, I think, scheduled to open May 14th. Right, I think that's right, and Demasia. But obviously if there's delays with modeling, we might have to shift things around, but just so everyone has an idea, it's always pretty tight timeline, but hopefully there's no delays or issues. Yeah.
Yep, we'll do our best, but thank you.
Okay, thanks, Marcia. And all right, Sophia, is any MDOT updates?
I think maybe last year at some point I had shared that we were working on some, basically adding some projects in response to the Key Bridge collapse into the CMAQ, which is some federal funding to help with congestion mitigation and air quality improvements. So I'll share a bit of an update. So we are working on getting those projects up and running at this point. So we have added a few things to the CMAQ program. So it's basically like transit incentives and ride sharing projects, I think. So basically to incentivize other modes of transportation, which obviously generally also help with congestion, but specifically due to the, this all came about specifically due to the increased congestion after the bridge collapse. So that's underway. And I don't think I have anything else to add aside from that update.
Thank you. Interesting. Good to see. I don't know, hopefully that's moving along with construction and everything soon. We'll see.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah, Greg and Daniel aren't on, but Jasmine, do you have any updates from FHWA?
No updates on this side.
Okay, thank you. Well, does anyone else have any questions or? Okay. Well, all right. Well, I think that wraps up our ICG meeting for today. And yeah, thank you again for coming in person. And yeah, I guess the next scheduled meeting is May 7th at the same time, 9:30. That'll be a virtual meeting again. And yeah, if anything comes up with modeling or anything, other questions, just please let me know. And yeah, thank you all for coming. Thanks for joining online.
Sounds good.
Bye, everybody. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.